Hey everybody, it's James Arnold Taylor here talking about the James Arnold Taylor podcast, talking to myself, the JAT cast as we like to call it. And I've got a handy cam, Hank, the show's engineer. So the show is called Talking to Myself because I do all the voices, but I want to show you that. So Hank, our engineer. Hey, Hank!
Yeah, hello, James. Let me check that microphone. Testing. Hello.
Would you stop that, please?
I'm testing the microphone, the Aston microphone.
Yes, it's the Aston microphone. The Aston Swift Shield is protecting you from doing that, and you're still doing that. Anyways, Hank, we're doing a promo here because you set up a camera in the room.
Yeah, you like the camera? I set the camera. I do that, because you always say I'm not that handy for, an engineer. I don't know.
Well, you're not.
Well, that hurts my feelings.
Well, I'm sorry. Come here. Give me a hug.
I don't want to hug you.
I'm just joking anyways.
Whatever. You didn't think I could do it. You didn't think I could hook up the camera.
No, I didn't. You're right. I didn't think you could. But you did. You hooked up a camera. So now we're going to show everybody what it's like behind the scenes of the James Arnold Taylor podcast here from my JAT studios where I do the show.
Yeah, you show them all the way you look, and then they'll all go, well, now I know why it's a podcast without video.
Well, that's not nice of you to say at all.
I'm just saying.
Okay. So I'm introducing everybody to the character so everybody knows the show is called Talking to Myself. Let's get Mr. Announcer Guy in here to introduce the show, because that's the right way to do it, isn't it? Hey, Mr. Announcer Guy!
Oh, yes, James.
How are you?
I'm doing super fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing super I guess I'm super fantastic. I'm super fantastic because you're here about to introduce the show. So everybody has to, figure out about why we call it Talking to Myself. Show them why.
You got it, James. Let me call Jerry the Music Man to cue the music.
Oh, that's right. Jerry, our music man. He's kind of an old 40s radio guy. Hey, Jerry the Music Man.
Yeah, James. Everything's Jake with me, Jerry.
Well, it's good to hear, Jerry. So can you spin some tunes for us for Mr. Announcer Guy to do the big intro for the James Arnold Taylor podcast?
Why, it's what I live for, James.
All righty. Go ahead.
You got it, James. Here you go, Mr. Announcer Guy.
Thank you, Jerry.
No problem.
Would you guys just get on with it?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the James Arnold Taylor podcast, Talking to Myself, the JATcast. And now, here he is, the same guy that's doing all these voices, including mine, James Arnold Taylor!
Well, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Announcer Guy. I don't know what that was at the end.
I was doing a big announcery thing.
Yeah, okay. All right, Mr. Announcer Guy. You go off and, I don't know, what do you do when you're not announcing the show?
Well, I hang out in the green room.
Is it actually green?
No, it's not.
I didn't think so.
Well, there you go. And I drink coffee and throat coat and all that.
Well, you get throat coat. Yeah, you got to take care of your voice. Yeah, I wouldn't imagine you're a big coffee drinker.
No, I'm not. But I like a little throat coat.
Maybe we get throat coat as a sponsor. Hey, throat coat! That's what we do here. Anyways, all right. Thanks, Mr. Announcer Guy, for coming in and introducing the show. So it's a big show for you, the James Arnold Taylor podcast. This is not a big show, actually. This is a small show. It's a small little promo video demo thing that I'm putting together to show you all what it's like behind the scenes here in the studio as I do the JATcast. So Mr. Announcer Guy is there. We have Hank the Anchorman. Hank Anchorman is somebody different. That's from my Johnny Test days. Hank the Engineer. Hank Anchorman is another Hank I voiced, yes. So as a voice actor, I've been the voice of many different characters on TV and stuff, and we'll get to that. But I voiced
Hank Anchorman on Johnny Test.
But I was also the voice of Johnny Test, which was totally awesome. And Mr. Mittens and
The Beekeeper and Dark Vegan. I will get you, Johnny Test.
I can't breathe in this thing. So that was my time doing Johnny Test. What a fun show. But that is not why we're here. The James Arnold Taylor podcast is all about me talking to myself and all my characters and my voices. If I wanted to interview, say, Obi-Wan Kenobi, I might say, let's use the Force. Obi-Wan, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. Hello there. Hello, James. How are you? Well, hey, Obi-Wan. How are you? I'm doing quite well, James. The force is strong here with your podcast. I enjoy listening to it in the ship as we fly around. Anakin likes listening to your show as well. Does he? Huh? Well, that's cool. Does Anakin do any voices? Yes, he does actually a very good Mace Windu. Does he really? All right. Well, thanks, Obi-Wan, for stopping by. I hope you continue listening to the podcast.
I will, James. Remember, the Force will be with you. Always.
There you go. There's Obi-Wan Kenobi. We've got Billy the intern. Billy is the show's intern. Billy wants to be a voice actor. Hey, Billy!
Yes, Mr. James. Yes, just James. James, Sir James a lot.
Okay, no, just James.
Sir James.
No, not sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. James.
Okay, no, look, Billy, I'm just a regular guy. You can just call me James.
Just James.
No, just James.
That's what I said. I said just James.
No, I mean not just James.
I don't understand.
Okay. Call me JAT. How about that?
Yes, sir, Mr. James. Oh, so I'll call you JAT because it's in the JAT cast and you are James Arnold Taylor. And the reason why you are James Arnold Taylor or JAT is because you are James Arnold Taylor.
Yeah, that's right. I have a very long name. James Arnold Taylor. I have like 3 first names. And so it's easier. I don't know where it came from, but people started calling me JAT, J-A-T, instead of J-T, because there's another James Taylor.
Yes, no, he's seen fire and he's seen rain.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So anyways, Billy, you're the intern on the show. What's it like being an intern on the James Arnold Taylor podcast?
Well, I know it's very nice. And someday, I will learn to be a voice actor myself because I'm watching and learning from the master.
Who's the master? I'm just kidding.
No, well, it's you, sir.
Well, that's very nice of you to say, but I'm not the master. Jim Cummings, Frank Welker, Mel Blanc, geniuses like that, those would be the masters of voiceover. I am just a lowly voice actor that has made a living in Hollywood, voicing all sorts of wonderful characters from Fred Flintstone to Obi-Wan Kenobi, Johnny Test, Spider-Man, The Flash, Green Arrow, Leonardo the Ninja Turtle, and many, many other characters. And now I have a podcast where I talk to you as I talk to me. And all my characters. So, Billy the intern, Hank the engineer, Mr. Announcer Guy, Jerry the music man. Who else do we got? Let's call my agent Franklin. So my agent is the one that, gets me all the work. And let's see, sometimes though, unfortunately, his son Brian, who's kind of a millennial that stays at home and doesn't really do it, sometimes he answers the phone, and I hope he doesn't answer.
Hello?
Oh, hey, Brian. I was just talking about. So good to talk to you, Brian. How you doing?
This Obi-Wan Kenobi?
No, it's James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And it's Kenobi, not Kenobody.
You're not Ewan McGregor.
No, I'm not Ewan McGregor.
Well, Ewan McGregor did the voice of, all the movies and stuff.
Well, he was on camera. He was Obi-Wan Kenobi there. But in for the last 18 years in cartoons and video games and toys, I have been Obi-Wan Kenobi.
So what, you want an award or something?
Well, no, I'm just saying, you always say I'm not Obi-Wan or I'm Obi-Wan Kenobody, but I'm actually somebody. I've done it for a while now.
Keep telling yourself that.
Okay, Brian, look, hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Okay, Brian, I called to talk to your dad, Franklin, my agent. Can you put him on the line, please?
Hang on, Obi Kenobody. Dad.
What?
Dad.
What? I'm right here.
Your client, Obi Nobody Kenobi, is on the phone.
Oh, James Arnold Taylor. Oh, give me the phone.
No, stop.
Give me the phone.
No, stop. No. Stop.
Give me. Would you? Give me the. Why is it so hard? Hello, darling. Oh, am I on your podcast?
Yes, Franklin, you're on the podcast right now.
Oh, I don't like hearing my own voice. It's all high-pitched and whiny and weird.
Well, that's most people when they hear their own voice, they say that.
But not you.
No, I'm used to hearing my own voice.
Oh, you're a dear. What can I do for you, James? You're on your little podcast.
Franklin, that's not a song.
I know, I'm just excited for you and your podcast. Are you telling everybody who you are and you getting jobs from it?
No, Franklin, you're my agent. You're the one that's supposed to get me jobs from the podcast.
Okay, yes. All right, I'll do that.
All right.
I'm kidding. I have no idea how to do it.
Franklin, you're my agent. Come on.
All right, no. Oh, I got so excited I toot. Anyways, did you do the Obi-Wan Kenobis?
Yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I did Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Good. Did you do the Fred Flintstones?
Yeah, so I'm the voice of Fred Flintstone. That's right.
Yabba-dabba-doo. Wilma, Bonnie, Franklin.
Oh, you said
my name is Freddie Flintstone. It's a yabba dabba doody.
No, it's Yabba Dabba Doo.
Yabba dabba doody.
No, it's Yabba Dabba.
Yabba dabba doo!
Doody.
Franklin. Anyways, so we're trying to kind of promote the podcast here by doing a video. Hank set up a video camera in the studio.
Hank actually did something.
Hey, I can hear you all.
He's a dear. Tell him I'm kidding.
Yeah, he's kidding, Hank, as far as you know.
What?
Nothing.
Anyways, he set up a camera, and you're showing everybody what it's like doing on your little podcast.
Yeah, so everybody can see behind the scenes of talking to myself, how I do the voices on the show, how I talk to myself. Because, I've never hid it, the fact that I am doing all the voices.
No, you're right there. You're a big ego. That's why.
What?
Nothing.
I'm not an ego. I just think it's fun for people to see.
That's right. You keep telling yourself that.
Okay. You're giving me a bad time today. You're being sassy.
Well, I do what I can. Anyways, all right, darling. Everybody's going to have fun watching you do your little podcast and see how we do all the voices. Are you going to call some other people?
Yes.
Are you going to call Ferris Wheel?
No, his last name is not Wheel. It's His name is Ferris. Kind of like, like Ferris Bueller.
Yes, Ferris Bueller. You going to call Ferris Bueller?
No, I'm not going to go.
But do your Matthew Broderick impression right now. Do it. Do you do the other voices? Do the voices.
Okay, I don't do a great Matthew Broderick. I do Matthew Broderick, but it's not as good as like Cam Clark. Cam Clark does an amazing Matthew Broderick. But life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Oh, that sounds just like, I toot. I got so excited I toot. Yeah, do. Christopher Walken's.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, you didn't.
Whatever, do the voice. Hello. Hey, yeah, I'm Christopher Walken. It's crazy.
That's not, Franklin, that's not how you do my voice. If you're going to do Chris Walken, you have to just do it. And you don't go crazy, with the whole big. You keep it, in control. Because the truth is if he was sitting with Chris Walken, he wouldn't be going, wow, it's crazy, the way everybody does impressions of me.
Oh, it's like I'm right there with him. It's so exciting. Hello, Christopher Walken.
It's Christopher Walken, you goob.
He called me a goob. Do somebody else. Do the Mikey Fox.
Michael J. Fox. Well, yeah, I've doubled for Michael J. Fox for many years. Well, wait a second, Doc. You mean to tell me that you've built a podcast for James Arnold Taylor? Whoa, this is heavy.
Great Scott, Marty, that's right.
Oh, you're like a Back to the Future all in one. Do the whole movie right now. Do it.
No.
All right. Anyways, darling, I love your podcast. I love the voices you do. Do all the little things you do. And go and now call someone else. Call Ferris Wheel.
Ferris.
All right. Yeah. Do it. All right. Bye-bye, darling. Oh, wait. Brian wants to say something.
You're a loser.
Brian, stop that.
No,
Hang up the phone.
no.
Oh, brother. Okay, so yeah, let's call Ferris. So Ferris is my he's like a big brother to me. He's like a sagely, he gives wise advice whenever I'm confused about something to do on the podcast, or I need advice, or we want to, get people excited about things or encouraged. We call Ferris. Ferris owns a billiard hall out in Carpinteria called the Billiard Zone, and he's just like this. He's kind of like from The Big Lebowski. He's like the dude, the dude to buy. He's like Sam Elliott. And so let's call Ferris and see if he's there at his billiard hall, and if he picks up, and then we'll talk to Ferris, and we'll...
Billiard Zone, hey man. This is James.
Hey, Ferris!
Hey dude, how's it going?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Dude, I'm hanging in there, doing my thing. So what are you doing? You doing your podcast, man? You call me for the podcast?
That's right, Ferris. So Hank actually put a video camera up.
And it works, man.
Hey, I can hear you all.
All right, yeah. Yeah, it works.
Well, that's pretty cool, man. That's impressive. Good for you, Hank. I always knew you could do something.
I don't know what he means by that.
That's all right. Anyways, Ferris, thanks, man. So Ferris, people listening to the James Arnold Taylor podcast, the JAT Cast, what can we expect from Ferris? I mean, I was telling him all how you're kind of a wisely sage guy. So when,
Well, let me tell you, man. Everybody's got a dream in them, right, James?
Yeah, that's right, Ferris.
Everybody's got stuff they want to do.
That's right.
Everybody goes, how the heck do I do it, man? So I try to just remind people that, you know what? Life's just a big ball of stuff. All you gotta do is find one little piece of it, unravel and unwrap that, make it work for you, man. That's all that matters. You don't need to worry about all the people in the world, all the stuff everybody wants. Everybody wants something from all of us. Everybody wants a piece of you. You just got to remember to give time for yourself. Get up every day going, I'm going to do the best I can. I'll give the most I can to who I can, when I can, and how I can. And then I'm going to carve out a little space for myself and relax and enjoy this life as well. Because, that's all we can do, man. That's why God put us here. We're all just in it for that, man.
Okay, good. Ferris, that's wonderful advice. It is important because so many people that listen to my podcast know that I'm a positive thinking guy. I wrote a book, JAT 365, about my positive outlook on life and achieving goals and life dreams and stuff, because I was just a kid in his room doing voices. And from 4 years old, I've wanted to be a voice actor. And I took that dream and I turned it into a whole very successful career here in Hollywood, being the voice of all these characters and such. And it was from hard work. And I certainly did not have an easy road. I came from very poor background and poor means, living in a single bedroom apartment with my mom and my older brother and sister. And we didn't have a lot, but I dropped out of high school. I'm not proud of that, but I was a high school dropout and stuff, but I was able to take my life and turn it into something bigger based on the types of things that you're saying. Just every day, there's something bigger, better you can do for those and those around you and stuff, but it doesn't have to be big in the world's eyes. It has to be big in the heart. Is that pretty much what you're saying?
That's right, man. It's all got to be about the heart, about love, about showing everybody who you are, what you're about.
Well, that's beautiful, Ferris. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to come down and shoot some pool with you later at the billiard zone there, okay?
You got it, man. All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon. All right, brother?
Okay, Ferris. Thanks, man.
You got it, dude.
So that's Ferris, and he's at the billiard zone. So many other characters on the show, and again, you get the theme. The overarching theme is I'm always talking about my voiceover career, and I tell stories about being Obi-Wan Kenobi or being Fred Flintstone and all the stuff that I do in my life in Hollywood. But I also like to talk about what motivates me. I talk about my faith. I'm a Christian. I have a deep faith in God and a belief and a confidence in God that He's got me on the right path. And I talk about that here on the show. And then I call people and we take your emails and stuff too. Ooh, we take emails. But I do, well, in fact, we have Bob, the email guy. Hey, Bob. Hey, Bob. Hey, Bob.
Ooh, yes. Hello, James. Hello. Indubidy-doo. How are you?
I'm doing great, Bob. I was telling people, because we're doing a video, because Hank set up a video camera.
I can't believe he did it.
I heard that.
All right. And we're showing people behind the scenes of the podcast and how I do the voices and all that, but also what else the show is about. So if people are new to it, they can maybe watch this and go, hey, that looks like an interesting show. And because there's not always a camera, it's usually just an audio show, but they might listen because it's on iTunes and Spotify and Android and all of those things.
Oh, yes, all those places. And people can go to jamesarnoldtaylor.com and click on the JAT show link, and then they can do the little drop down and put the JATcast podcast, and then they can write you an email and ask you questions.
That's right. And people ask me questions all the time, Bob. They're always asking me questions about voiceover or about just my life as an actor or working in Hollywood, but also about life. Because of the podcast, so many people have been asking me about my faith, and people that, because the show is not a Christian show. It's not just for people that are Christian or of a faith. I happen to be a Christian. This happens to be my way of life, but I also am trying to show people that we can all get along in that. We can all have different belief systems and all different values even, and come together and find a place to be entertained and find middle ground. So I don't get political on the show. I don't really get religious on the show. I just talk about my faith because it's a huge part of my life. And many people write me emails about that, from atheists to various other religions and all sorts of things, just asking me questions about it, Bob. And you're the one that takes in all the emails, right?
Oh, indubidy-doo. I read through all the emails and I find the ones, and then we read them on the show. Each week we answer people's emails.
That's right. And we answer questions. Again, silly questions to very serious questions. And it's just a lot of fun. So thank you, Bob, for coming in. And I'm going to move along now because, again, this is more just like a promo.
Oh, no, I understand. Absolutely.
All right. So, and then let's see. Oh, well, we could call Guinevere. So Guinevere is she's the world's biggest James Arnold Taylor fan. Self-professed world's largest James Arnold Taylor fan. She loves James Arnold Taylor, and I'm flattered by this. So let's call Guinevere. We have her number. See if she answers. And she can tell you a little bit more about me and all that, because it's like she knows more about me than I know about me. And
What's up?
hey, Guinevere.
Shut up. Shut up. Is this JAT?
It's JAT. How's that?
Oh my God!
Okay.
Shut up. I love it when you call me. It's so unbelievable because, I am the biggest James Arnold Taylor fan.
I know. I was telling people about it right now.
Oh, wait, am I on the podcast?
You are.
Hello, everybody. Podcasting, listening, podcast.
Okay. Guinevere, you're the biggest James Arnold Taylor fan, so tell everybody about the James Arnold Taylor podcast and why they should listen.
Shut up. Oh my gosh. It is so fun and funny and good. And he does voices. And
Okay, calm down.
he also inspires people to pursue their dreams. And he wrote a book, JAT 365, love it.
Yeah, you're talking about my book.
He inspires you, and it's just kind of like, like when you just want to relax, not really care about anything, and listen to, music or watch a show or just kind of veg out.
Yeah, I do.
That's what I like about your show, is it's absolutely that. It makes you think, and it's funny, and it's also, it's inspiring, and it's educational. And I'm not a voice person, and I don't like voice acting like for me to do, but I love you, and I love the voices you do because I love animation and video games and things, and so I respect it, but it's not something I would do, is what I mean.
No, I know what you mean.
Okay. And so I just learn. I learn about that, but it's not a voiceover show.
I don't think the James Arnold Taylor podcast is a voiceover show. I would classify it more as probably, it's probably considered a faith-based show.
Yes, because you talk about your faith, and I think that's beautiful and wonderful.
And, but it's just a entertainment show. It's a comedy show. Really.
Yeah, because you're so funny.
Well, thank you.
Shut up. Okay. Everybody should totally listen to the James Arnold Taylor podcast. I wish I was like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I could use the Jedi mind trick to get everybody to listen, but I do everything I can to tell everybody to listen, and I'm asking people to listen to it now, James.
Well, thank you, Guinevere. You are a wonderful fan, and I so appreciate you being here on the show.
Thank you so much. Shut up.
Okay. All right. See you later.
Bye-bye. Shut up.
Okay. So that's some of the various characters on the James Arnold Taylor podcast. This is the show. This is me. This is what I do. I sit here, I talk to all of you. I tell stories about my life as a voice actor. Sometimes I play clips from interviews that I've done with various people, from Frank Oz to Ian McDermott, Mark Hamill, Tom Wilson, Jim Cummings, friends of mine in the voiceover world, in the world of Star Wars and pop culture and fun. And we just have a great time. And most of the time I sit here talking to me, but I talk to you about all of this stuff too. So if you're new to the show, if you don't know about it, please consider subscribing to the James Arnold Taylor podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Android. It's also on my YouTube channel. If you don't know about my YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please check it out and hit that little subscribe button if you're watching it here right now. Please don't give me a thumbs down. We like thumbs ups here, okay? So if you want to give me a thumbs down, you've watched the whole thing and you decide it was terrible and I'm no good, I guess you could give me a thumbs down, but then put a comment in and tell me why, okay? Because I want to know that. For sure. I don't just want thumbs downs for the sake of thumbs downs. All right, everybody, but I really don't want any thumbs downs, so please don't give me one. But also, please consider giving me 5 stars on iTunes as well, and write a review there too, okay? All right, it's the James Arnold Taylor podcast. It comes out, lately it hasn't been coming out as regularly, but we're trying to get back to a weekly schedule here at the James Arnold Taylor Studios, and we'll see what we can do for y'all. But these are all the characters. This is the show. This is a brief synopsis of what it's about and what it looks like behind the scenes of the James Arnold Taylor podcast. Let's get Mr. Announcer Guy in here to close it out. Oh, Mr. Announcer Guy!
Yes, James, I'm ready to do that closing show thing that I do.
All right, Mr. Announcer Guy, close us out.
You've been listening to Talking to Myself, the JAT Cast. All voices are parody and should be considered entertainment only. All music and sound effects are used with permissions and licenses through Backtracks, Digital Produce, Production Tracks, and Partners in Rhyme.
Well, you kind of stumbled through that one.
Yes, I'm trying. I don't have the script in front of me this time.
It's because I'm winging it. I don't normally go by memory here. I usually have that part written down.
Anyways, talking to myself, all rights reserved, copyright 2019.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Announcer Guy. That's it. That's the James Arnold Taylor podcast. This is how I do it. I wanted to show you behind the scenes. I hope you consider watching the show or listening to the show from now on regularly as an audio podcast wherever you find your podcast. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.